Okay, so we've had a great day out gathering the snow, and now we've come down to the parking lot or home, depending on how able you are to keep it frozen, the snow frozen. Um, I used my stove and heated the water up, boiled the snow down. So now I'm pulling it out of the boiling water and gonna get ready to filter it. And so the first thing I'm gonna do is pull out a filter and my filter holder. So the filter holder is a two-piece thing that that the filter goes on top of. And so then I'm gonna take one of the filters, and so this is a 0.25 micron quartz filter. Each of these is about $1.50, and so we want to be careful with them. So I'm going to very carefully place it on the bottom part of the filter, and then I'm going to close the filter up. And so what I'm going to do then is, this is my syringe, and so what we're going to do is, it's a 60 milliliter syringe, and so we're going to take sets of 60 milliliters. So I'm going to go ahead and open my sample up. And I want to be careful I don't want to take water from the very bottom. I want to kind of take it from the middle so that I'm not catching all this dirt that's on the very bottom. So I'm going to carefully, then I'm going to slowly pull out 60 milliliters. Careful to set that back down. So I'll look, and so I got my full 60 milliliters. Then I screw on the filter holder. And so then what I'm going to do is run the sample through this filter holder. And so you can do it anywhere. I'm just going to spray it back into my boiling water just so you can see what I'm doing. But the key is that this filter is fragile, and so it's going to break if you try and go too hard. So you just want to slowly drip the water through, nice and easy. Again, you don't want to force the filter at all. And this is one of the hardest things about doing this, is just a slow trickle. And a lot of times you just want to get in a hurry, but again, it'll tear the filter. And so that's what ends up taking so long. So with this one, I sprayed it faster than I should have, and I think it's probably torn. Yeah, you can see, so now it's gotten torn in half, and it's no longer solid, and so the stuff's leaked through, and yeah, so that one's wasted. And it's not just that we wasted the filter, we wasted the sample, so we don't have, we have to go back up to the summit of Mount Everest to get another one. So that's why we want to be very careful and keep it slow. So that's one set of 60. And so there's going to be two differences. There's going to be one difference between the way we filter the subsurface and the surface. Basically with the surface, because it's all the snow that was in contact with the air, we want to filter the entire bag. So which is straightforward. And then what we want to do is, after we're done, we want to note how many syringes it took. So if we filtered the whole bag and there was 3 syringes worth of snow, we're going to write 3 down. So on the other hand, with the subsurface, all we want to do is get it to a light gray. And so what I want to do after each 60 is I open it up and I take a look, and so this one has got a little bit of color to it, but it's not gray yet. So I seal it back up, and I'm going to take my next 60 milliliter. So again, nice and slow and careful. So then I stop. Open it up, and now it's gotten kind of brown. It's about half covered. So this one's a tricky one. It might be a good stopping point. I'll probably go ahead and just do one more. But essentially I would keep doing them until it gets to be gray, or until I do 10 samples total. So we don't ever want to go above 10 60 milliliters. So now I'm going to look at it. It's pretty dirty. I don't really want to go any more than that. And the reason I don't want to go too dirty is I only want one layer of dust. If I start to have dust stacked on top of dust, I don't know how much deep it is. Is it 5 layers deep, or is it 3 layers deep, or 2, or 15? And so it's only going to be effective if it's only one layer deep. So that's going to be where I'm going to want to limit myself. So now I've said, all right, this one's good. And so what I'm going to do is pull out my coin holders where I'm going to put the sample. And so the first thing I'm going to do is take the top coin holder, and the top one has a uniform lip around it. The bottom one has a kind of an inset lip, and we'll look at them in a close-up in a little bit. I'm going to take the top one, and I'm going to look at my bag and see that this is a E305. So E is the number of the GPS. So E305. 305 is what the GPS waypoint I marked was. And this one says subsurface. So I'm going to write subsurface. And then I did 3 vials. So I'm going to write down 3 pulls. The idea being that each pull of the water is 60 milliliters. So then I write the E305 subsurface 3 pulls. So that's what's going to go on the top. So now what I'm going to do on the bottom is I'm going to take a pair of tweezers, and I'm going to take, I've got this one on the bottom, and I'm going to carefully pull this off of the filter holder. So now that it's on the bottom, and then I'm going to take the coin protector and wrap it around it, and that'll hold it in place. And so it's just, the coin holder is just wider than the filter, so that, see, it protects it and keeps it in place without contaminating the sample. Then I take the top, place it on top, squeeze it tight, and now it's totally protected. So these coin holders are for rare coins, and so coin collectors use them. So they're very sturdy, very solid. And once we've got the sample in there, it's very, very well protected. So then that's all it is to it. So what do I do when I'm finished with my sample? Climberscience.com is our website. And if you've been in contact with us and have other contact information, so we have climberscience@gmail.com. You can email us there, call if you've gotten my phone number and so forth. But the key is, all we need is just this little thing, and then the GPS waypoint. So whatever that 305 latitude, longitude, the geographic information, the full set of numbers, those are the only 2 things that we really have to have. So it's a nice, simple, easy thing. You can mail it to us. These things mail great, or we're happy to come pick it up depending on where you're at. So yeah, just get it to us as soon as you can, and we'll add it to the library and continue mapping the snow pollution around the North Cascades. Thanks.